Welcome back to this, already the final segment of today's Price of Business, and I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And, we like to bring on Charles Alvarez, and he is with CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com, and he is extraordinarily excellent at what he does in coaching businesses and helping companies go to the next level. I know from firsthand experience, and I know from the people he's worked with, the great work he does, and we're always glad to have him on the program. Charles tells a little more about what you do, and also again, the website, CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com, and then introduce us to our guest today. He looks like an interesting one.
I'd be happy to know. I'm really excited about our guest. It's almost to the point where I really don't even want to talk about myself because I'm excited about it. I'm with Cornerstone Business Academy, where we help companies grow their sales 20 to 30% and actually get their salespeople to work for once. Anyway, so
what a novel idea.
I know. So who we have with us as a guest today is Ed Holtgraver. And he is the president, CEO, and founder of a wonderful company that does actuators called Quarterco. It's QTRCO.com. Ed, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on the program. Tell us a little bit about Quarterco's history.
Well, Quarterco began in 1998 after 2 years of working to set up a business of my own. We started off selling into the niche markets. We made stainless steel valve actuators in smaller sizes. Over the years, we decided to grow out of that niche and have introduced other materials as well as other sizes of actuators. And we compete against a lot of people in the market who are pretty much focused on being the lowest price. We instead focus on being the lowest cost. Mm-hmm. And our intention is, even though our actuators cost more to purchase, with less downtime, lower maintenance costs, and better performance, over the years it costs less to own our actuators.
Very good. Charles?
So kind of walk me through, what are some of the issues that your customers are facing, and how do your actuators, you talked a little bit about it in your answer there, but can you go into more detail as to how you add value to them and what makes them choose you versus the other actuators in the marketplace?
The other actuators are more prone to failure and downtime, but we emphasize certain applications. Somebody who requires a valve to operate at very high speed, we're capable of doing that without failure. Perhaps they have a corrosive atmosphere. Our actuators are made out of all stainless steel as our primary option. We do make them out of ductile iron as well, but for those corrosive applications. And that might be something as simple as a Campbell soup plant, where there's no inherent corrosion, but they wash the plant down with a caustic solution to kill bacteria. And that the caustic solution attacks aluminum and other materials. So we have several hundred actuators in one of their plants, and over a period of about 6 years, and have not yet had a failure in any of our actuators.
You haven't had a failure in 6 years?
Not in 6 years. And we have another application, which is on boats servicing the oil rigs offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. There are 7 boats. We have over 1,000 actuators as long as 14 years. And we have a letter from the engineer in charge saying how proud he is that we have not had a single failure in 14 years.
Whew.
And for the person who's not familiar with actuators, explain that.
First of all, let's talk about valves. Valves are used to control flow in industrial applications. Industrial might be food processing, it might be oil and gas, what have you. But valves are not typically manually operated. Something provides power to make them turn or to move. So that's called an actuator. So we primarily manufacture pneumatics by using something like 80 pounds of air pressure and introducing that to the actuator. It provides the muscle to turn valves.
Very good. Charles?
So, Ed, kind of give us an idea of, for your actuators, what are the best industries, what are the best businesses, what are the best facilities to be able to host your actuators? In other words, what environment do your actuators work best in?
Well, actually, our actuators work wherever somebody's looking for reliability and performance. We emphasized early on the corrosion applications because we manufacture just in stainless steel. We were limited to torque at one time 14,000 pound inches, which would drive a butterfly valve or ball valve about 10 or 12 inches in size. We always looked for larger sizes. Any number of companies manufacture what is called a Scotch yoke actuator. We had the choice. We could copy those. We could import those. We chose not to do anything until one day we had an inspiration and came up with what we call a flat yoke actuator. Totally different from what's been in on the market, and offers balanced weight, balanced forces. And by having that, we've qualified for the nuclear industry, where seismic considerations is a major concern. We are good. We're a lighter weight actuator, so we're good on offshore rigs. And we've developed a customer base that certainly prefers the solutions we offer.
Yeah, sounds like it. Talk a little bit about the verticals you work in.
The verticals.
Mm-hmm. I've already heard you mention energy, and I've mentioned molding,
sure.
And so it sounds like you're in a lot of different areas. Not, especially in Houston, people kind of would assume something like you do would be almost entirely energy, but it sounds like you've got lots of footprints in different areas.
We do. We have, as I mentioned, food and beverage, Campbell Soup as an example, but we also in pulp and paper, which has not only corrosive locations within the plants, but also some very high vibration areas. Typically for control applications, somebody would use what's called a diaphragm-type actuator. They tend to be tall and almost mushroom-shaped. Vibration is a severe problem for them. Our actuators, we have a very unique way of mounting our actuators to give a smaller package, and this gives us an ability to throttle valves and control that's required in pulp and paper plants, and be superior in those cases to diaphragm actuators.
Charles?
It's a fascinating business, and I actually went to his manufacturing facility, and it is an absolute work of art on how they get stuff done and how they process things and how they work through their materials. What do you think is the biggest reason as to why your company, you're on all these, I can't name all these lists because we'd run out of time of all the great things that you have accomplished. What would you say is the most important element that has allowed you to be as successful as you are over the years?
Well, first of all, our product is unique to the extent that it has allowed us, in one case, to license a company in the nuclear field to sell to the nuclear industry. We're too small to qualify ourselves. The cost of getting involved in it would be outrageous. So we licensed the company, and that meant a lot of income for us. Recently, a year ago, May, we licensed the company in the UK to manufacture globally. We maintain the North American rights and the Asian rights, but we've given them rights, which is also more income for the company. But the primary thing is we have a requirement of our people, who we have very few of, but we have a requirement that they be in the top 5% of the population, capability-wise and performance-wise. And that's difficult. We have seen a lot of people come and go over the years, but the people we have are just super. They're just so much out of the ordinary as far as capabilities and devotion to the company. That's been the key, is we do things that others can't, and we do them very fast because we have such good people.
Edward Holtgraver, he's been our guest. He's with Quarterco, and that's QTRCO.com. QTRCO.com. Charles, some final thoughts before we wrap it up? We have about 30 seconds left.
In our practice, we talk about that the role of a CEO is to spearhead change and to develop its people. And I cannot think of very many people that would be on that list, inclusive of Ed. So, Ed, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, very good. All right. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here continues over there at priceofbusiness.com and usdailyreview.com. Have a great day. Spend it wisely on this station.